Welcome to What's Happening. I'm your host, Paula Hersey, and we're talking science on the street. The Cape Cod Regional STEM Network is having a Science on the Street event at the college on October 21st, 11 to 4. With me today is the events coordinator, Kristen Kibelhaus. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Science on the Street, pretty cool event. But first, let's tell people a little bit about the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network. What do you guys do?
So we are the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network. So we work with schools, we work with community partners, as well as the Cape Cod Community Media Center. We work with the Cape Cod Community College as well as STEM businesses across the Cape. For people that don't know what STEM is, it's an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. So we are linking those key four groups into schools, into the college as well, to help students see what awesome STEM things are happening here on the Cape.
So what's the correlation between the STEM Regional Network and our schools? Is it all schools from, basically kindergarten up through the college, or is it just, 5th and 6th graders?
Okay. So we do work with a wide range of schools. So we do a lot of stuff within the elementary school systems as well as the middle school system. So back in January, we did the egg drop challenge, and we worked specifically with kind of 3rd to 6th graders on that, and then depending on the age, we changed the concept a little bit to make it more applicable for that age group. Okay. So that was, they had to create a helmet for an egg and do the egg drop with it, and that was a Cape-wide event. We had over 900 students participate in it, so it was a great time.
So how many scrambled eggs did you get?
A lot.
A lot. But the principles of that, so let's talk a little bit about science, technology, engineering, and math. A lot of these disciplines are industry related here on the Cape, but when you're talking about students learning those principles, what is unique about some of these events like the egg drop? How do students learn by scrambling an egg?
So how we did it, some schools made it almost like they talked about the science behind concussions and how different parts of the brain affect different parts of your body. It's like for sight, hearing, movement, things like that. And in sports, like if you would hit the front of your head, this affects this part of your body. And so then they would kind of map it on the egg, what the head would look like. And then, so say your egg, when you dropped it and cracked, and they would analyze it and say, oh, this is my brain. This is what would happen to me on my body, and then if their helmet didn't work, then they can go back and re-engineer that helmet to make it better for the next time around.
So they're not only learning the science behind their bodies, but they're also learning engineer principles on how things move through the air, how things impact, and then adjust from there.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Yes.
So Science on the Street, we've participated for quite a few years now. Tell us a little bit about Science on the Street. It's actually started down in Cambridge at MIT?
Yes, it did. So Cambridge does, it's a festival for them, and they do a 2-week-long festival with that, and then we brought it to the Cape because, like we were saying earlier, the Cape has great STEM opportunities from Upper Cape to Mid Cape to Lower Cape. There's lots of places around where you can find STEM, so we wanted to highlight specifically all the great things on the Cape that it can offer.
Right. So the event itself is a full-day event, 11 to 4.
Yes.
What age groups?
We say for anyone. Last year we had elementary schoolers come in with their grandparents. We just had community members coming in just to see what it was all about. So it's really for anybody.
So what are some of the favorite events that, or exhibits that happen at Science on the Street? I know that ours is really well attended. We do the green screen.
Yes.
And we literally have a line waiting almost from the time that the doors open till they close of kids wanting to try that. And we explain the science behind green screen and the technology. But what are some of the other cool events that happen there?
So last year we had so Cambridge Science on the Street came down and they did stomp rockets. That was so popular.
I remember that in the gym.
Yes, so stomp rockets were really popular. We also do, Cape Cod Community College, their maintenance aviation maintenance technology program, they come in and they have a mock aviation welding simulator. So that is also really popular as
They
well.
had the spray painting one too.
Yes.
That was really neat. You could spray paint a plane virtually.
Yes. Yes, so that is a really popular item. We also have, through the Kurt Geisler Foundation, they bring in this, the topographic sandbox. So that's where it's a sandbox, and then it has a light projected down to it, so you can see how like rivers can be cut through mountains and valleys. And then as you change like the levels in the sand, like the screen will change with it. So that's a really popular item as well. They actually use that in a lot of colleges as well. So they use that to teach the college students different things. So.
Yeah, well, we saw that, and it was they were teaching all about erosion.
Yes.
And how the sand actually shifts on our sandbar.
Yes.
And a lot of kids were like, "Wow, we didn't realize that." So you know, hopefully, you know, learning a little bit about climate change as well with that
Yes.
sandbox. Some of the other events that we noticed out there last year that we were there there's a lot of ROV and robotics kind of in schools now. So how do kids like participate in those types of exhibits?
So with that, they have the schools will come in and bring their like robotics teams in, or just like the STEM clubs within the schools will come in and they show what they've been doing throughout the year and throughout their competitions throughout the year. And then the students can come in and ask questions, or they will handle the robot. Sometimes they'll let them, they can teach them how like to program the robots to do certain things, and then they can see how that programming then affects the robot. So.
Do you know if Baxter is going to be making
I think he is. I'm not
appearance?
sure yet. I hope Baxter does make an appearance.
Can you talk to us just a little bit about who Baxter is?
Yeah, so Baxter is the robot at Cape Cod Community College that they use within our engineering sector within the college, and the college students then will use that to help, again, learn programming as well as working within the robot itself. So they did a really cool project during Easter time with it. So they tried to make a assembly line of Easter eggs kind of roll down, and have Baxter then program to pick up the eggs and put them in the egg cartons, and how they would in a factory kind of sort of setting. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And Baxter's full size.
Yes,
he's
he
like a
is.
really big robot.
Yeah,
It's kind of
bigger
cool.
than me.
What about like science stuff? Are there experiments that the kids can do?
Yes, so depending on what exhibit is there, more science-y kind of exploration things, some of like the Whittier Pirate Museum will come in.
Ooh.
Also, we have other exhibitors that will come in that work with kind of treasure and exploration and things like that, so students can learn about how they go and do like diving to find like treasure and things like that as well. The Massachusetts, oh, the name just went right in my head. Cape Cod Maritime Center.
Okay.
They come in as well, and they talk about how they do like the wooden boat building and stuff, so they can learn about the science behind that as well.
Oh, that wooden boat building is really cool. There's a couple of classes actually from the Cape that go and do that for a full semester, which is really neat. I think it's Truro Central has been doing it for a couple of years. They send their 6th graders there, and they build the boat for the whole school year. So is it just in one location in the gym, or are there multiple locations of where these exhibits and folks will be set up?
So throughout the Cape Cod Community College campus, it will be within the Grossman Commons, which is like their lunch area, hangout area, also within our gymnasium, and then as well as the Tilden Arts Center in the lobby. There will be places as well.
Okay. Are you looking for other people to come in and do any of these exhibits? Or you still got space open for folks?
Yes, we still have plenty of room for exhibitors to come on in. So if you know of a business, or if you're a part of a business or a STEM-related nonprofit group here on the Cape, we would love to have you guys come in and display.
Schools too, right?
Yes, schools as well.
And it doesn't matter. You could have a STEM group in your school that's, you know, something like the Gills Club or something.
Yes.
That's, you know, for younger girls, or right up through high school.
Yes.
So I saw nanotechnology, I think, is one of the ones that came in. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Of Barnstable High School was doing some nanotechnology stuff, and that was fascinating. That high school students were actually learning those types of things. What do you see from parents and grandparents that come into this type of event?
So last year, part of my role last year was to run the Lego We Do Lab. So Lego We Do's is, it teaches kids the engineering of behind putting together Legos, but as well as the coding behind it. So then you can plug the USB into your computer, which then will run a motor, and then you can make the alligator Lego, Chomp and things like that. And so a lot of the parents would come in not knowing anything, and their kids would be like, I learned this in school already, and they're just going through at it, and the parents are so impressed seeing their third grader coding already and doing all these awesome things, and then just going around through the exhibits, parents that have lived on the Cape all their lives not knowing these kind of businesses and these kind of access to camps and such are here for them. So
that's great.
yes.
October 21st, it's going to be 11 to 4
Yes.
on the community college campus. It'll be in multiple locations: Tilden Art Center, the gymnasium for the really cool interactive, the stomp rockets. I'm
Yes,
will
we'll
be
be in
back.
the
We
gym.
loved that last year. It was a lot of fun. And the other one that's fun that we always see is squishy circuits.
Yes, squishy circuits are always fun too.
Can you tell us a little bit about what squishy circuits do? People at home probably don't know.
So squishy circuits, so to make a circuit, we need to have things that conduct electricity. And so Play-Doh is actually a really good conductor. So what they'll do is, just like you probably did it in school when you're in elementary school with a potato lighting a light bulb, they do the same thing with Play-Doh lighting little LED light bulbs.
And they learn the engineering and the electrical current, the science behind that.
Yes,
And it's all in a play atmosphere, but they're learning at the same time.
exactly.
I want to go back to school.
I know, me too.
What else do you want to tell folks about the day? It's October 21st, 11 to 4 at the Cape Cod Community Campus. Anything else that you want folks to know about the day or the STEM Regional Network?
So the Science on the Street event, it is free. It's handicap accessible. We will have, lunch served there if you want to stay all day and have fun.
Which people did last year.
Yes.
They stayed all day because there was so much to do.
Yes. So like I said, it's free. Anyone can come, all ages. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I can't wait. We're really excited to partner with you guys again. This will be our 4th Science on the Street, and we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Us too.
Thanks for being with us, Kristen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Paula Hersey, and don't miss Science on the Street. This is what's happening Cape Cod.